Hello, Odd Job Viewer here. And today's little video is I got myself a leaky, drippy sink faucet, yeah. And sure, you can take these things off and try to tighten down the seals to find out which one of them is leaking. But in some cases, instead of just fixing something, you might want to replace it, get something a little bit upgraded, a little bit better. Maybe you want to sell a house. I might mind you today, I'm on the handy cam, so it might be a little jittery. It might be a little like this sometimes. But what we're replacing this thing with is a Delta PortWood. PortWood. There's no wood in that. Model number, I think it's 25770LF-SP. And then the other number below it, just in case that one above it's not it. But a Delta one here. Since it's a bathroom sink, this one also has the 4-inch on center, 3-hole sink, which I'm thinking this one is. And it has some other stuff to it, but who cares? Delta might, spot shield. Okay, so to go along with this little video, we have a little tool here, luckily, that hopefully is going to help us out. And I might have showcased this before, but this here is little multi-plumbing tool thing. It has a slit on one whole side there. It has this part here, which we won't need for this job. And this part up here, which we might need for this job. This is for catching different size nuts in there and stuff. But we'll get back to that a little bit later. And I also got precaution, a little thing of water, and a little scrub pad, because I'm professionally trained here on how to keep things clean. And let's see here. Okay, underneath the sink, this is what we have, folks. Ooh, death, dust, and dismemberment. But here we got ourselves a sink flange thing, which I'm gonna make a good attempt to changing that out. I see there's some kind of stuff. Hope it's not glue. And we got some maybe some water rot, something. Who knows what's going on there? It's been dripping down here. And the worst part of this is back up under there, probably. See those pipes, right? First of all, see those pipes? The copper looking ones with the twist there? That goes down to here. And if you see there, that has no connector. It's like sawed onto that piece of metal on this thing right there, the valve. And this is where I have some trust issues. Okay, now, people that know me know I have a lot of trust issues here in life. And one of them is these things here, and even the ones that are newer than this. I don't trust them to turn off. And if they do, I really don't trust them to turn back on. So, for this job, I'll be shutting the water off to the house, and we'll do that in a minute. Then look up here. What does it need? It needs some kind of a wrench thing on there, and then it looks like a plastic deal, hopefully. And you can see a lot of wetness up there too. So we'll just see how that whole thing happens. But first, a trip outside to the water meter. Alright, so here at the water meter, we got this little key thing like this here, the T handle. And it's a little bit wet already. This here should pry in here. Pry in there. Pop this thing off. And set it aside. And now we got two. We got what they call the city meter turn off and the user. So I'm going to turn this user one off. This one here should be good enough to, yeah, it's nice and tight. Get that on there and shut this water off. Now, if you don't have one of these things, another thing you can do, if you have a big adjustable wrench thing, right, one of these things, you just adjust it to this thing here and turn that from the top like that. Okay, so we'll leave this here and rush over here through the sands of mud to what I'm hoping is a low-lying valve. Just like here, when turned on. That's going to hopefully, full blast, hopefully it's going to pull out some of the water. And the other thing I'll turn off, or turn on, is the bathroom sink next. Looks familiar, huh? Alright, so back inside here, I'm going to turn on the hot and the cold. You hear that? little gurgling sound, that means that the water and stuff coming down is going back out through the bottom of the house. Not the bottom, but outside, drain outside. Drain, hose bib, whatever. The drain now. And no water's going down here. And let's just leave this on for a while and commence with underground again. So, let's see what we got here. Take some of these tools here, get on the ground, and yeah, put you there. Oh. Okay, so the first thing I did was I took one of these here containers, right? It's for like laundry soap and stuff. I sawed it in half with a saw, hand saw at that, so it's nice and uneven and stuff. And I kind of sanded off any kind of sanded the stuff here, the edge. Anyways, this is real nice to go underneath here, right? My detergent. Take some of that stuff aside, those dead bugs. Okay, this is going to be the main thing catching any drips, which probably got some, you know. There's some light in here, or we will, because up in there. Yeah. This goes way up here, and man, I need to get closer. Closer. Okay, let me see what's up there. There's two here. There. See, there's a nut there, you see. And now that nut there, hopefully, coincides with the nut on this special tool here. Now the problem with that is this part here does not come undone. No. So it can't be just straight down. So this is going to be not used for this. Instead, we got a plethora of a few of these shiny here wrenches, right? Short stubby ones. And if that fails, we have that adjustable wrench somewhere. I've already lost it. So basically I'll start by undoing those two things. And that's going to make me kind of come in here, probably rub my shirt upon this here and give it a little cleaning. Dusty. And yeah, so first things first, those two nuts that go to the copper tubes. And now, granted, these copper tubes, I'm going to be very careful with them. Just undo the nuts and pull them out slightly and kind of move them to the side. Okay. Alright, let me see here. Get this thing back on. Because up underneath here, we should have gotten that, the nut. Where's the nut? Right there's the nut for this cable, pipe, whatever. And then you got that white thing up there. Now, that white thing is like the new one here. The new one has a gray one, right? Looks like that. It's like a little cross thing. And we use the special tool here. What this does is it has these different things here where these hangamajiggers, you know, fit in. But we don't need that. Instead, we have this here, and this here should fit in like that. See that? So this is going to go up there. Not this part yet. This part. And I'm going to grab that nut and try to twist it on down. And film it and see if I can fit everything underneath here. So, here is that white thing. Here comes this. And get up there. Alright. See? Go like that. Keep doing it. But, okay, so I start on one side, now I'm going to do the other side, and just, you know, then after I loosen up both sides, then I'll just go to town and get them undone and removed. So, let me do that, and the faucet should be able to come out. Now, we should have gotten those both off, and now it's just the tubes hanging out. There you go, tube over there somewhere. But there's this rod thing here too, you see. And this thing here, you squeeze and slide this off the back, like so. Now, make sure it doesn't go back on it. Great. Now you can go up to the top and take it off, hopefully. Stand by here. Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop. Right. Dun dun dun. Has some kind of a. No, you see that? Maybe. Okay, you probably don't see that. Now you'll see it. Down there, there's a little screw thing. You can see it partially. Get in there. Anyway, there's a screw thing that I might have to do underneath. Let me try to finagle it here. If these holes are a bit bigger, I have no problem. But you know, holes, stuff. And yeah, see a little screw head there? Right, so now there's a little thumb screw thing. I'll just go back underneath there and do it, and then rip this thing out. Ugh. Alrighty, so here we go again. Grab or pull. This time the rod comes off because I took the other piece off, right? And now you can see on the bottom here, there's some of that clay stuff, plumber's putty. This over here must have had some extra leaking. Maybe from this valve. Yeah, that's nice. But see, that corrosion makes a pain in the butt to take nuts off and stuff. So a little bit of corrosion there. And well, this one here is done for. Yeah. Done for. Anyways, we have this here. Now, once again, if you've seen any of my other videos, I like to keep things clean, right? So, you can get like something to scrape it. Meanwhile, down below, way down there's the bucket, or my half bucket I made. So, I just knock this stuff down there. It's going to catch it. Maybe get a razor blade, a straight razor blade. Well, maybe I'll get a razor blade. Hold that thought. Sharp. So, like I said, razor blade, right? You get in here, you get some of this gunk off. It gets the, not down the drain, like I said, down the bucket. It gets the goo and the ooh, silicone, you know, stuff that could be used up here. Alright. Yum. So, that's pretty much it for razor blading. Next, we'll hit it with the, yeah, okay. Next, we'll hit it with the Scotch-Brite pad, right? This right here, right? And, got my little beverage here, a little water. Just kind of dip it in there a little bit. You want damp. And then you just kind of, you know, do some circles on this scum. Up and down, circles, whatever you want to believe in. And let the pad do the work, right? And a little more water, a little more buffing. Okay, so I'm going to continue this for several days until it's nice and clean. Right? This like plug hole, I'll clean that out too. Looks like there's some goo down there. Yeah, what's this here about? Okay, that's fun. Guess I'd have it too. Yeah, it does. Oh well. Careful though, it could be sharp. Okay. Back to cleaning. Alright, so that's about it for that. There's still some, you know, a little grimy ring there, but it might be covered up with the new faucet. Next thing is this drain here. We're going to do that drain too. Take it out, put the new one in. And it goes a little something like this here. Yeah, I'll come back down here. And up underneath here. Now this here is glued. glued with a nut. And then weird stuff there, and another nut here. So I'm going to undo this one here first, which I might have to get some kind of tool on it. Probably the T-Rex, right? And very carefully, without breaking it, give it snug and a twist. Make sure you're going the right way too. Okay, so alright. And I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to try to get some hand action on this thing. Alright. Make sure my bucket's underneath here and where I'm working. Bucket. Right. Okay, so unscrew this thing here. And some poor soul put some crud on it there, but whatever. Okay, so then we got that top one there. And that top one, we can use like a bigger crescent wrench or the T-Rex. And so I'm going to loosen that up. But I'll probably use both hands on this one. Or can I just turn it? Nope, can't turn it at this point. So I'm going to get some T-Rex. This is quite the metal here. Make sure that's undone there. This might be replaced. We'll take a look at it closer. But T-Rex up here. I need both hands. Okay, now with some luck, got that ring down here. And so this is a little friction ring. This looks like a rubber stopper up in there. Maybe rubber stopper. And give this thing a twist. And kind of push up. Trying to work it up the up towards the sink. Okay, did we get somewhere? I don't know. Let's see how it looks in the sink. Doesn't look like it too much. We can see it turning there, but that part there gets unscrewed. So let me use both hands on this. Case here, as you can see, I took off the P trap. This thing here had a nut there. You just gently loosen that, and then hopefully take it down with your hand and drain it out, because there'll be some water down here in the bottom of this P trap. Then, with that done, then we get this corroded piece here pushed up to there. So on the other side, looks like that now. It's popped up. Now, in theory, this is going to be kind of tough. I'm going to probably grab on this rim thing here with the giant finger, with the T-Rex to hold it in place, while underneath trying to twist this thing here around, or vice versa. Hopefully it comes off good, but it probably won't. That's the plan. And this thing here is screwed in to that top flange. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to unscrew those two, and this bottom part should pop down. Let's see. Alright, sometimes it's corroded and horrible down there, and by golly, you just use some ogre strength in this piece of tools, kind of lift up on that flange, and in this case, the neck broke down here on this part. But be careful, you don't want to mar up your surface down here. So, that's out. I'll do more cleanup. And yeah, my this goop stuff here is just plumber's putty. Knock it on down into the tub below. And I'll do more of the little Scotch Brite around that hole. Clean it up. Oh, little critter there too. You see that critter living there. Where'd you go, critter? Super small. Don't see it now. Yeah. Anyways, there's a critter. Come back out there, you. That's not a good sign. You don't want little critters living in your stuff. And there's definitely some gunk that needs to be handled, it looks like. So, yum, right? Okay. So I'll get back on this, get rid of the dead body, and clean away. Okay, so it's looking pretty dark up there now, but you see the hole? Oh. So down here we have the new drain. So we got this protective plastic cap. Just gonna kick that off. Right, nice, shiny. And then this part here, this is how it should do. You know, it should slide off. Blah. Now, this has a hole in it, and it's offset. So, if you want this thing to be not removable, as in the stopper, you take the ball rod part, which looks like this white part here, without this blue part to it. Why must they tape things together? And so strong. Take it like this. So, we got the ball part here, and when you put it through, it's going to go. I'll show you in a minute here. Okay, like this. If you want it, put it through like this here, right? Or possibly the other side. If you don't, it's you actually just leave it out, and it just sits right in here, raises and lowers. Doesn't really lower that good, but raises it. When I'm talking about putting it through, you put it through this business end here. See? See there? This here comes undone. And if you use two hands, this is a much quicker process. Right. So, ball part. This little thing here, that takes a hike off. Ball part goes in there. And other part goes back down, like so. But I'm not going to put that on now because we need this part here to be able to rotate. You make sure this nut here is all the way down, or pretty close to it. You pull this rubber grommet thing down, washer, gasket. Get it down more. And then it talks about Teflon tape here. Actually, it doesn't talk about Teflon tape, but it shows Teflon tape. So the only Teflon tape I could see about this thing is right on these threads up here. And I'm going to put some Teflon tape on it. If I can find it here. Teflon tape. And I don't know how I'm going to do this. Basically, Teflon tape comes off and just wraps around the very top of this here. I'll do it real quick and be done here and show you. Teflon tape. Now you don't cover up these holes here. This is going to be needed for your overflow drain on your sink. But this part here you got going. Now, the next part is questionable. Some people say silicone. Other people say that cruddy plumber's putty. But we're going to do a silicone bead around here on this inner ring here, the flange. And then this is going to get set down. Well, I'm going to tell you that this is going to go up here through that hole, the bottom. This flange thing will sit on top of it on the other side of the sink and screw down. Like I said, there'll be silicone here. And so I'll screw it down to where it meets in here at the top of the threads. Right? You can see the top of the threads. And then this whole assembly will just be set down to the sink, and you turn this bottom part. That was weird, huh? Okay. So I'll put some silicone here, and 100% silicone, and assemble it in the sink. But this definitely takes two hands. Oh, before that though, another quick thing is you want to check this here length. Kind of compare it to the old one, or get your J thing back up here, P. Kind of hook this up temporarily loosely and measure to see if you have enough depth in here, which I think this here does. It could take a whole load of it there from what it looks like. It can go all the way down. So this is going to be good. We won't have to cut any of this part here. What we will have to do is run off and eventually find a new one of these because this is already cracked and horrible. But that's for later. We'll get the water back on before we do that. Okay, so a little bit of overflow there. That's fine. We're not quite done yet. Next what we're going to do is back on the bottom here. And see how that kind of comes down. And now you probably can't right now, so let me boom. Alright, you can see how that there comes down. Next what we're going to do is tighten this here nut up. We have the nut and we have the rubber grommet, and try to center it right on this inner ring here. And on the back side you have that tube right there going straight out the back. Okay, and when you do this now, you don't move this part, you just move the nut to try to tighten it up and snug it all up together. And you really don't want to flop around too much because you don't want that top silicone to mess up too much. So, once again, 2 hands involved. Okay, so you don't want to over strength tighten this because it's plastic, but you want to snug it up real good. Nice, and make sure so the part's, you know, up the back, so that's good there. And see how it looks like in the sink. Joy. Now, just take a tissue and wipe up that silicone and let that dry. Right. Now then, while that's kind of drying, I see I wiped it up there. We have this gill rod here. This goes down the back side of the new faucet. Comes out the bottom and has a little curve to it, so if I put it all the way in, it actually makes it straight in the bottom here. Then, some genius was like, hey, if we put like this nut, which is hard to get to normally, it could probably fit down the hole. A little finagling there, that goes down. So, this right here, we're going to basically slide it on with the holes. So this is like the back. The holes are facing the back, so not cattywampus, like that. And now slide it on down here. And without measuring nothing right now, I'm going to bring it up to about here. So I'm slightly measuring. I'm going to give this a tight. Tighten. Tighten. Almost tighten. Avoiding touching that flange down there. You don't want to mess up the caulking. Okay, so this here is tightened. Okay, it's not really, but I'm going to put a wrench on that and tighten it down. Next, though, is imagine, if you will, this was under the sink like this. What we're going to do is we have this rod here. Remember how I showed you it goes in the back of the neck down there? Well, this longer part is going to go through one of these holes here, right, to go up and down. And you put this clip on like before. So, little bendy thing. And it kind of comes like this, and you hug it, and you put the rod through. Let me show you. Okay, so it's like that. And you hug it, and you put the rod through both sides. So, you get this here, see? Fancy, right? Magic. And this part here you do underneath the sink. So, I'll be saying that I'm doing it later. And I'll be doing it later, just like tighten this underneath the sink. But I will tighten this nut up to get it ready to go down there. Now, this here might be optional, but I always like to do it, especially on these kind of things, is I like to do some silicone just right around this base a little bit before I put the whole thing down there. And not a whole lot, just a little bit to keep the moisture from wicking back underneath there. And not to make a mess, let me do this real quick and show you the end result. Okay, like that right there, see? And not too thick, some kind of thick, you know, some spots, you know, whoa, catch the wave. And now this whole contraption here, I'm going to feed it through, and with any luck, it should go right down, I guess you're not watching, there you go, right down here, right, and once again, I don't want a whole lot of smudging around, so I'm going to set it on there center-ish, like so, majestic. And now make sure you have the same room from here to here to back here to here, right? And centered your tube up so it's right over the hole-ish kind of. Okay. And it's seated down. Right. It feels like it's good. Now it just needs the screws on the bottom of it. So back down here we go. This is how I get my exercises, up and down, up and down. And find the gray ones, the new ones we got. And these I like to start by hand up under there. Let's see if you can see it here. And I don't know if you can see it there, but start by hand and not cross thread it. The struggle's real, let me tell you. Well, you get the idea. Maybe you don't. Anyways, start by hand. Don't cross thread it. And I like to snug it up to the top. So let me get both of those snugged up. And then making sure you got your faucet where you want it up here, which I readjusted that. Down below, get the special tool. And gonna reach up there like before. When we undid it. Well, this time we're gonna do it to tighten it back up again. And you're just going to snug it down ever so slightly, with holding the top to making sure it does not move. By slightly, I mean so it's nice and snug so it doesn't move around, right? I think you can see it up there. I can probably see stuff up there. Right, so let me get the other side, and that will be it for the faucet to a point. We'll get this one here, this nut, follow it back up to the rubber grommet, and stick it in the hole, and try to centerize that rubber grommet again, and find the nut again. Hope you guys work on descriptive text here. Oh yeah, that's down here. Bring that up there. And don't cross thread this either, right? And sometimes this thing might be cracked, the rubber. You're gonna have to redo the rubber in it. I don't know what's wrong with this side, but things do not want to go on. Alright, well, I'll try the other side first and get back to that side. But reconnect your water lines, however situation you have. Bunch of pain, agony, suffering, but got those tubes up there, hooked up hopefully. I don't know if you can see them there. No, I can't see them from here. And got this tube, that thing hooked up, right? So this thing here's going to go up and down. And right here, that nut there, kind of hand tighten it. You can always tighten it more if a leak comes out of there, right? Otherwise, that's good. And now we're ready to, see, drain's still not here, but before I put that drain, I'm going to go ahead and turn the water back on, because we don't need to have the water off anymore. But these here. I'm going to turn it off position. Also, I'll turn off that the water hose outside. Turn that off, and then turn the water on. All right, water's back on. So, first thing first, check for drips. Fill your copper lines here, or whatever kind of lines you've got up, and see if there's any moisture on them. I don't feel any. Now, this one right here has a special faucet nozzle. See that right there? And it takes a little special tool. I don't know if I care much about that, but this tool goes up there. Yeah, I'll show you here. Tool goes up in there, little notches. Goes up in this little notch thing here, and you unscrew it. Come here, you. There. That's how you remove this aerator. Right. So aerator is now out from down here. See that? It's out. So what we're going to do now is with a bucket or a catch pan, whatever, below here, go ahead and turn the hot water on a little bit. Let the air come out. And cold water too. Oh my. And you go ahead and let it rip. Alright, and dump this out someplace else that has a good drain. Not the sink that's still not drainable. So, it shuts off, no leaks around it. It reminds me that I gotta get the silicone wiped off. Up in here. It's still pliable, right? And after that, you check down below. Make sure there's no leaks still. Don't see any leaks here. Check the tubing. Don't see any leaks there. I'll recheck it here in a little bit. But first, I'll go ahead and put that aerator back in. Looks like this right here, right? Little nozzle thing. So I'll screw it back in, just slightly hand tighten. And so got the aerator back in there. Turn it on. Nice, right? Okay, now we'll back underneath to work on the drain. Okay. Right. So we're back under here. And got that part there coming down. Which on that, we'll go this here again. And the replacement one of those. Let's see what we got here in my pocket. Got a few different ones here. I got this one here. No. I got this one here. Huh. And I got this thing here. It should fit. So, once again, one-handed, we'll do, and these here you do like the kind of conical. You do the cone part down, right? So this one first, this on second. That shoves it up a little bit, right? Checking for leaks still, seems good. And last but not least, we have this thing here. Lovely. So this part goes up in here, and this other part goes to the there. Okay, yeah, right there. So this part I'm going to attach first, but I need both hands. And this part here, I'm just going to let it hang there for a minute. There, both hands. All right, so I got this tightened pretty good by hand. So here I used a little bit of a tool to tighten it a little bit more, and that's it for now. Now, I also very carefully ran some water down the drain there, and what that did is you fill up the P-trap here to keep any kind of, you know, sewer gases and creatures or whatever from coming up, hopefully. And so right now, the slight water ran down there to fill up the trap. No leaks happened. But because the silicone up there around that drain, I'm going to let it dry. And I keep this bucket down here, and I'll tell them to I'll try it out tomorrow sometime, midday, whatever. And then I'll come back again and double check it and get my bucket back. So, questions, comments, leave them down below. And thanks for watching. I am off duty now.